going to be over in a few weeks. This thing isn't going to be over in a few months.
I go by Hertzberger's and get some furniture. You got 3 rooms for $298. That's what it say on the radio. 3 rooms, $298. He made up a little song about it. Get down there, man, tell me I can't get no credit. I'm working every day, can't get no credit.
Well, you can't get a loan. You can't own a home. You can't start a business.
Mr. Garrett, you have been warned.
Which means you can't build wealth.
Mr. Garrett.
And you're excluded from the American dream.
Sergeant at Arms, remove the witness.
Why is it so important to you to exclude an entire...
And you see, one of the great tricks.
What's up, Charles? I just saw your post. You all come in. Let's talk about this. I just saw your Facebook post, Charles, about when the stimulus checks are coming in. Let's talk about the stimulus checks. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about the game that they play, right?
It's a form of racial animus perpetrated against our people. They've devised an actual culture of keeping us impoverished. Many of us have become so complacent with having bad credit or not even knowing how to build a credit profile that because we've learned how to pay our bills month to month or manage to stay alive, we don't even care to fix it. We've become complacent with the fact like, hey, I got bad credit, so you know what? It is what it is. I want you all to get out of that mentality. You hear what I'm saying? I need you all to get out of that mentality. That's what I want.
Oh, Susie Orman. Last year I borrowed $2 million, tax-free. How I got that money is exactly why Susie Orman says don't do. Whatever Dave Ramsey says don't do, I do. Because I'm trained different than that.
Yo, come in. You all drop
3
your
sons
city
who went
and
to
stay.
college. I said to them, I'm not giving you a debit card. I'm giving you a supplemental card off of my credit card. It'll have your name on it, but it'll be my account. And every month I will get the bill. For 2 reasons. 1, so that I can see how you spend your money every day, if you're spending too much time in the bar, etc. But 2, every month I pay the bill, your credit score is going to go up. All 3 sons came out of college with scores well in the 750s or higher on their credit score because they were at 3.
Your children and grandchildren, when they grow up, during the greatest transformation of wealth, when they were giving money away free, interest rates are at a 5,000-year low. 5,000. What were you doing, Daddy, what are you going to tell your children and grandchildren when you grow up? November 8th, I announced that when Mr. Trump, whether you love him or hate him, this was the beginning of the greatest transformation of wealth since World War II. See, I know what he was going to do. I know what he's going to do now. And he hasn't even got started. Now, what are you going to tell your kids and your grandkids 25 years from now when they say, gee, Daddy, gee, Grandpa, what were you doing other than having your thump during the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of the world?
What were you doing during the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of the world, right? Let's talk about the stimulus update for today. Hello to everyone coming in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me on YouTube if you're checking in on YouTube. If you are watching on other platforms, do the same thing as well. If you're on Facebook, if you're on IG, if you're on Periscope, right? Share, show some digital love. And if you are watching on YouTube, right, make sure that you also hit that like button as well. So that's the 5 minutes of fame clock down. Have approximately like 20 more seconds. So hello, Keisha from Cali. Hello. Thank you for your experience time. And thank you so much, Keisha from California. I really appreciate that. Hello, Ronald. Hello. To you today. Happy Christmas, right? Just a lot of you all in celebration of that. And for those who celebrate Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa to you as well. You'll be very, very interested to know where Christmas celebration derived from and even Kwanzaa, right? If you knew the truth, but we won't get into that on this live stream. That's why I tell people, right? Do not be a part of capitalism. Do not be a part of getting in debt or putting stress on yourself, because if you really found out the origins of these holidays and the, I guess, sinister behind it, the sinister behind them, right? The origin of these holidays and the sinisterness behind it, you wouldn't put that pressure on yourself, right? You would not put that pressure on yourself. So hello, Cedric, for coming in from New Orleans, from NOLA. Glad to have you in the Credit and Cash Flow Room. So for those who are new, I have a lot of thousands of new subscribers this past month. Let's begin to talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, stimulus check, what date you'll receive it. And they got some new people to come in on my channel. So I wanted to be more diverse than just speaking of the subject of credit. I do want you all to know, however, that cash, right? Cash is a system that creates credit, debt, and taxes, right? Legal tenders, legal note tenders is a system that was created, right, to create credit, right, debt, and taxes. So we won't get into that as well. Just reading some things on Bitcoin. Bitcoin hit its record highs, right? Bitcoin hit is record highs of $26,000 today. Let's look at the breakdown of Bitcoin. Something flying in front of me, excuse me, a little gnat or something. So let's look at the breakdown of Bitcoin. Had you all took advantage of this investment opportunity. Some people ask, is Bitcoin a good investment? I think it still is. It would have been a better one the earlier if you would have got in and taken action, would have been a better investment. However, Bitcoin price just 1 year ago was $7,200. Just 3 months ago, people, Bitcoin 3 months ago was $10,800, right? And if you still was on the fence and skeptical about Bitcoin, 2 months ago, it was $13,800. And then if you still got in just in November last month, Bitcoin again was $17,000. And now that has increased today. Is it a good investment? It's a great investment. Thank you, Charles. Bitcoin is now hit its all-time high of $26,700. So a lot of people ask about Bitcoin. What exactly does it do? Well, to put it in layman's term, Bitcoin is just moving towards the new world order, the new way of having digital currency, digitalized cash, transitioning from electronic payments and direct deposits with checking accounts to more digitalized payments. So even in 2018, Bitcoin was at $3,100, right? December of 2018, it was $3,100, right? 2 years later, everything, right? The biggest wealth transfer that this generation has ever experienced, right? Bitcoin now, this picture shows 25,000, but it's actually at 26,700. So this person replied to this, said, literally, so account, I put $50 at 22,800, which I would have bought at that great low, going to buy more if there's a slight pullback. It's holding very well, very high, probably because of what? The devaluation of the US dollar. And yes, they are trying, or they are devaluing the United States dollar, right? And let me show you how the stimulus package is all a part of the plan. So when people ask me, are you for Democrats or are you for Republican? Look, I'm really for neither one of them, right? Can't even say a libertarian. I'm not for either one because I read the background of what both of them do. Whether it's president, they all have their own secret agenda. So what you have to do is learn the game that they're playing and try to make your chess moves best as you can to prepare for the devaluation of the dollar. So again, Bitcoin right now is $26,739, $50 US dollars, right? And let's read this article. We have liftoff Bitcoin at its all-time highs. So, as Mr. T would say, I really pity the fool who took someone's advice and did not invest in Bitcoin. And so right here, just today in 24 hours, a 9.34% return on Bitcoin, right? A 9.34% return on Bitcoin. And so it has gained physical silver and gold. It's been the biggest asset class this year by far, right? Outperforming any other asset, right? So on the 25th of December, we got a Christmas gift. If anyone has made that investment, it was at 25K on the 25th, right? So Santa brought a lot of people a great return on investment. So you won't be dependent on the stimulus, right? You won't be dependent on unemployment, right? If you would have positioned yourself earlier, right? You have to position yourself for prosperity. So it passed 26,000, hardly resistant after the blowing through of what's supposed to have been the landmark level. They thought 25K was the top, less than 24 hours earlier, right? So this is breaking records. The key of $20,000 mark was broken December 16th, right? Then again, it broke 25,000 on the 25th. So Santa brought some extra gifts in for people who are preparing for their financial future. And what caused all of this is pretty much the U.S. Federal Reserve, right, along with central banks, have been printing money or cash, right, with the while abandoning or trying to starve off the worst, or trying to abandon or delay the worst economic effects of the pandemic, while President Trump has been pushing Congress to pass an even higher, bigger relief package. So whether it's Trump or Biden that passes higher, bigger relief package, right, is going to push true and top assets like Bitcoin, silver, and gold even higher or to the top. So Bitcoin is just getting started, right? It's in its early innings, and it's going to reach higher highs. The more of the fake money is printed into the economy, right? Then the more it's going to push Bitcoin and other type assets such as real estate, gold, physical gold, not ETFs and silver, right? The reason why I don't do mutual funds or the stock market is because stocks are controlled by Wall Street, the U.S. Treasury, right? And what you all know also as the Federal Reserve. So it's highly controllable. Now, honestly, crypto is somewhat controlled by those entities as well, but not as highly controlled, right? So you saw some news about the SEC coming out on XRP and other cryptocurrencies. But again, it's not highly controlled and manipulated like mutual funds. That's why Dave Ramsey is a multimillionaire, because he get paid off the selling of mutual funds and their products, right? To poor people who don't really have a financial education, who don't understand the difference between legal tender and cash, that don't understand that Bitcoin is an asset, it's not a currency, right? And other cryptocurrencies and altcoins and blockchains as well. And so when you don't know what true assets are, then you always invest in liabilities, which makes you poor. So the point of it is to have a financial education behind it so you can be financially empowered, right? Superman, I can't tell, I don't give financial advice on my channel. I financially educate people. I can't tell you how much to put in this month. I don't know what your extra cash reserves are, right? I don't know what you have to put in, and I don't know what your expectancy of return. I do tell people my financial strategies is to buy and hold for the long term. I'm not trying to cash out. I'm not trying to trade, right? Bitcoin is very highly volatile, which means you can have 10% gains in 1 hour and a 10% dip of loss of gains within the next minute or hour. but it has been the highest gaining asset this year. Crypto is not controlled by China all the way, but much of it, because it requires mining, is controlled much by China. It's a lot of things that China controls right now. China is the financial powerhouse, right? One thing that President Trump did say, and one of his speeches that I think people grossly overlook, is that the country is broke. So I'm gonna play that clip for you all. And that even if the Federal Reserves do a small rise of interest rates, right? We're broke and the country has no money. So you should ask yourself thought-provoking, that we're in a bubble, right? And have no money. You should ask yourself thought-provoking questions such as this. How can we print out trillions of cash and then be told that the country has no money, right? The country has no money. So, okay, Jesus. So, Superman, if you're watching live, just know that you're blocked. It was accidental. It was not done purposely, right? So, on Facebook, it says, had the chance to get up to 1K to 30K, right? 30,000. Yeah, it was at that range. While everyone running of this epidemic, I just ran up 6 figures without even leaving my house or interacting with anyone. This is true power of Bitcoin with real knowledge. Anything is possible. This is equivalent to 100K invested to get 100 million in return. The best part of this is that I am not the only one that can do this. My student are growing 100K multiply testimonials. So I definitely would not get this and trade it. And you can get your own crypto accounts. Don't have anyone market to you to buy Bitcoin that you have to get an account through them so they can get any type of fees or advances off of you, right? You can sign up to get your own accounts. And I also share these links. I do like both of these in order to create your own account. I, again, love it as well because you can just buy and hold. It doesn't take a whole lot of financial education, right? You can just buy and hold, make money from your house, and like he said, earn real returns and be patient with the results, right? This is not a get overnight. Again, I would not get into this looking to in a desperate situation, because, for example, if it reaches 100K, you're going to regret pulling your money out. So just my advice, or, I don't really give a lot of financial advice, but what I'm doing is holding for the long term, allowing my interest to calculate interest. Again, these are my favorite referral links or links to purchase your Bitcoin on. One is crypto.com. Crypto have a lot of altcoins that you can purchase as well that's not available on any other place. And both of these are very user friendly and insurance backed, right? Just like anything that if you was FDIC insurance backed in your local or bank. So there's crypto.com. There are some altcoins that I like on that website that's not offered by or not offered on Coinbase. And a lot of times on crypto.com, you can also use your credit card, right, to invest in Bitcoin or any other link, right? Bitcoin or any other altcoins. I am planning on, however, creating maybe a Queen of Crypto report, just like I have a Queen of Coins report to show people how to invest in silver as well. Silver will physical silver, not ETF. So that's the crypto link and that's the Coinbase link, right? Why silver? Because silver is both an industrial metal as well as a monetary metal. So you have silver, and everything is all about supply and demand, just like Bitcoin is about supply and demand. And the Bitcoin halving also took place this year. And so with silver is less and less available, right? Because silver is also used as an industrial metal as well as a monetary metal as well. So if you want that silver stacking report for a small investment of $35, go to my website. It's fixmycreditandcash.com. Get on the main page or the home page and stroll all the way down to the bottom of my website, fixmycreditandcash.com, and you'll see the Queen of Coins silver stacking reports to help you as well. Again, silver will give you high gains back, physical silver, but right now, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency and altcoins and blockchains is outpacing and beating silver at this time, right? Yes, silver is a great investment. It really is. So, yeah, I have been giving people a lot of crypto knowledge. They sleeping on it, but that's their decision. Again, I always tell people, what are you going to do? What's going to be your excuse during the biggest wealth transfer at this time? That you did not take action, or did you just put your money into liabilities versus assets, right? Did you not think that this economy would do a turnaround, right? So let's listen to this clip by President Trump.
Stock market, but if you raise interest rates even a little bit, and the only thing that looks good is the stock market, but if you raise interest rates even a little bit, that's going to come crashing down. We are in a big, fat, ugly bubble, and we better be awfully careful. And we have a Fed that's doing political things. This Janet Yellen of the Fed,
with the 19 trillion in debt now going up to 21 trillion. 21 trillion, you know how much money that is? We got to be smart. Now we got to really be smart because we don't have money anymore. We're a poor nation. We're a debtor nation.
Okay, he just
we could be in a bubble. And
we are a poor nation. We are a debtor nation, right?
Money anymore. We're a poor nation. We're a debtor nation. And we could be in a bubble, and that bubble could crash, and it's not going to be a pretty picture.
And we are in the bubble. We're a debtor nation. What does that mean? That means we give out cash, right, which create credit, debt, and taxes. And we don't have the real money, the physical money to back that cash, right, physically in our location, like China does, and like a lot of other countries does as well. And so when we don't have that gold backing, we are a poor nation. That's what he means by we're out of money. So let's look at the second stimulus update. Some people may get a second stimulus and they may want to then invest that, right? They want to flip that cash into real assets. And so the second stimulus update as of today, when will it come? Will it be a $2,000 payment? President Trump has yet to sign. However, unemployment benefits expired yesterday, right? It expired yesterday. Trump is threatening to veto the bill, right? He is making a threat to veto the bill. And he wants the $600 stimulus to be increased to $2,000. He's in Florida right now. And Congress right now has refused to approve the $2,000. The government will shut down unless a federal funding package is agreed upon. And Democrats refuse to slash the foreign aid spending. So if you know anything about the foreign aid spending, more of that money is going to other countries versus the Americans right here in the United States, right? So President Trump tweeted today, right? Time for the Republican senators to step up and fight for the presidency like the Democrats would do if they had actually won. The proof is irrefutable. So a lot of people think he's still upset about the about the presidency. And to be honest with you all, according to the numbers, he did, win, but I won't get into that on this live stream, right? Everything is strategically planned. So he says he's determined to get bigger stimulus He is more determined to, Trump's word, negotiate to get a bigger stimulus for struggling Americans, and the new bill passed by Congress. So stimulus payments were $600 again. He wants the $2,000. And this is Lindsey Graham's tweet on Christmas Day that after spending some time with President Trump, he is convinced that he is more determined than ever to increase stimulus to $2,000 per person and challenge the Section 230 big tech liability. So that means he's challenging what's going to other countries and why other countries, right, are getting more than United States citizens in their hand. So also, let's look at, if it is approved, when will people get it, right? What date? And people, I don't really understand this because last week they were stating that people could get their second stimulus as early as next week. And now, even if it is approved, it's saying it's going to be January the 15th. So all of this is a game, right? All of this is a game. Everything is planned, right? They cause the problem, they create the problem, sit back and watch the reaction, and then offer you a quote unquote solution, right? So the second stimulus check delay, when your payment could come and why January 15th matters. The second stimulus check is still in turmoil, still up in the air, undecided. We'll probably have more breaking news on Monday. Steve Mnuchin, again, agreed to start sending out up to $600 per person a week later and said that could happen very fast by direct deposit. And then President Trump said he would not sign off on it, right? So Trump, again, said he wanted $2,000. On Saturday, federal unemployment collapsed, which is today, December 26th, the federal unemployment. So a lot of people that were receiving that $300, you don't have that today, right? That $300 in, and the eviction ban is also following along with other programs to set. Now you have to be careful, read the language very carefully, right? To end on or before December 31st. So a lot of this is going not just with the stimulus, but eviction ban ending as well. So it is this week. You have to read everything carefully. That's why they put on or before. So they're saying complicated matters is already a short deadline for delivering the second stimulus. Now, you have to take in consideration the people that may not have their direct deposit set up, and they will receive the second stimulus via mail. United States Postal Service is already announcing that they are behind days and weeks on mail. That's not only going to affect those who get paper checks, right? But it's also going to affect people who are trying to get credit repair, because now it's going to take even longer days to reach the credit agencies, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, right? So during the summer, about 75% round of the first stimulus were sent to people bank accounts using direct deposit, right? And so, yeah, let's look if the House actually does pass the bill, or if President Trump does sign on December the 28th, then why they are saying that now this is going to be delayed from what Steve Mnuchin initially said that could happen within a week. So again, you have to put on your thinking caps when it comes to the government, right? Because they play games. So again, Joe Biden he's sworn in January the 20th. He's also looking at passing another stimulus, and if that happens, then assets such as Bitcoin, physical gold, and silver will continue to rise and give people a great return on their investment. So if President Trump signs by December 28th, which is Monday, then the dates for the possible check, according to this graph, is April 7th, right? So this is for a second and third stimulus that can go out. So now you have to ask yourself, what will happen with tax returns, right? Used to be January the 1st, and some people the last December 31st will use their check stubs before their W-2s will even come in to file their tax returns. And those people that are used to large tax returns, you're going to see a deduction in your tax returns, right? People that's used to receiving $8,000, $10,000 may receive as little as $2,000 or $3,000, right? So why is January 15, 2021 such an important date? This is the cutoff date in the $900 billion stimulus by which the IRS and U.S. Treasury will stop sending checks, right, as part of this round of delivery. So if you don't receive your full second stimulus check money by January the 15th, you'll have to claim all a part of the missing amount, and that's even for paper checks. So this is with USPS delay and backups of deliveries that's going on, and you will have an opportunity to get a recovery rebate. So again, since the new stimulus sets a January 15th deadline for the IRS to send out payments, people who receive their second stimulus check via mail or either a prepaid debit card should look for a payment in the first 3 weeks. Again, direct deposits, they're saying if he signs Monday will come sooner, but for people that do paper or prepaid debit, January 15th, if you don't receive it, if he signs Monday, right, that $900 billion expires. And so if he does not sign Monday, meaning saying that he might just not sign it, right, at all, might not sign it, let it sit on his desk for 10 days. And then that way it just goes into expires. He might not sign a stimulus package, or if he veto it, Congress will have an opportunity to then overturn that veto, right? And it more than likely Congress will, because they already have the majority of the votes. And so, his third option was to not sign it, veto it, or just, let it expire, right? Just let it expire. So yeah, UPS is behind greatly. I mailed a priority envelope to a client in Stone Mountain, Georgia. The PO was literally 4 minutes away from the client's home. Took 5 days, right? So that's why I've been telling people, even with credit repair and everything, even with these stimulus, if you're getting, and these are really gonna hurt people that get those quick returns, right? Because their information is not on file with the IRS. What I mean by quick returns is these are people that they seemingly can't wait to get their tax return directly from the IRS, and whatever business is doing the tax preparation for them, right? The business pays them, and then the business wait until to get refunded from the IRS from their person's tax return. So when the business paid you directly flat out because you want a rapid tax refund and you do not wait to get the tax payment from the IRS, then you are not on file. Your banking account information is not on file. The business that you did your credit repair with and paid you out have their banking information on file. And so people who do rapid tax returns, right, because they've abused their money over the holidays, or capitalism. And what is capitalism? Capitalism is a system set up to keep you broke, right? Every month there is marketing. There is something by big businesses, and people that spend every day do not understand it, right? They are psychologically trained or mentally manipulated to spend their money, because all of these occasions, like January will be New Year's, right? February will be Valentine's Day. Then you have March, which is spring break or St. Patrick's Day. And then you have April. What's April again? I have talked about capitalism in a long time. What goes on in the month of April? Is it St. Patty in April or April Fool's Day? People don't understand that they're being made April Fools, right? So you have the events. You have March spring break, April, April Fool's Day or whatever. Then you have Mother's Day in May, Father's Day in June. In addition to graduation in May, right? Then in July, people want to celebrate the 4th of July. Then they even got into Juneteenth, right? Oh, thank you so much, Dave Sincere. Easter, a big holiday, right? A big holiday. And then you have August is back to school shopping. September is Labor Day. October is Halloween. And then not even to look at the November, which is Thanksgiving, but it's also Black Friday, Cyber Monday, then Christmas, and then it recycles and restart all over again, right? Charles says credit repair is slow because USPS is backed up. People freaking out because of the FICO 10. They're trying to get rid of negative accounts out. Should have did this last summer. I tell people that. That's why I've been live streaming and letting people know what was forthcoming so you can make the moves that you need to make, the moves to stay ahead financially, right? So I'm signing out, right? Thank you. Said learned a lot about Bitcoin. Again, I probably will produce a Queen of Coins Bitcoin report so you can understand the different types of cryptocurrency, blockchain, and altcoins. And again, if you want to also invest in that Queen of Coins silver stacking report, silver stacking, you can go to my website, fixmycreditandcash.com. Also, if you want credit help, right? Credit help, then also go to my website, fixmycreditandcash.com, and go under the tab credit help, a small investment of $125 to get you started, where I can help you start building your personal credit and give you a custom analysis. All right, last quote or last comment that I'm reading: Mother's Day and Valentine's Day are the biggest days for florists. Exactly. So you have to understand capitalism and why capitalism, taxes, and debt used the wrong way. A lot of people use debt the wrong way. They use debt to buy liabilities, things that take money out of their pockets, right? Instead of put money into their pockets. It's all designed to keep you broke. I tell a lot of women that you all brag about having a PhD, but for a lot of women that equals pile high debt, right? So don't invest in a degree that won't give you a higher rate of return that you cannot pay off their student loan debt in 2 or 3 years, or that you graduate just to have a piece of paper or a plaque on the wall of your status and you're in 6-figure student loan debt. And it would take you years to get out of, right? Because student loan debt cannot be discharged in bankruptcy. In 2008, the Obama administration made all student loan debts federal. So now people cannot discharge them in bankruptcy and get rid of them as easy as they used to. So like taxes, right? Student loan debt can follow you to the grave. So be careful with that. A lot of colleges or university now are making big money off useless degrees. And it's just another means to get people in debt and bad debt at an early age. It's starting as early as the age of 18. I tell people all the time, you should question, why is it easier for you to get thousands of dollars of student loan debt at the age of 18 versus business credit, right? Versus business credit. All right, I probably will see you all tomorrow. Be safe tonight. Remember, stack your cash to invest in an asset. The more cash they print, the worthless it'll be in the devaluation, right? It will be. Exactly, Dave. A lot of people never get rid of student loans. And again, if you want credit assistance, go to my website, fixmycreditandcash.com, on the credit help. And if you want that Queen of Coins silver stacking report, because silver, again, will give you a high return on your investment, on their homepage, scroll down to the bottom and get that as well. All right, so here's to your health and your wealth, your peace and prosperity, your credit, crypto, coins, and cash flow. Queen of Credit out. You all have a great night.